Hey everyone, Tony here. Wanted to bring you a top gainer for today. It's a company called Datasea DTSS. Um, Wanted to kind of give you I don't know, so I guess you could say like not breaking news, but I guess just a top gainer for today was kind of fun, something a little bit different. So I figure I'd do a little analysis on the weekly and break it down. This company is it's not very old. It's from April, listed on April 2016. So basically can be considered a toddler in the stock world. So let's draw some horizontals here just to give us like an idea of the support and resistance level. This seems like a decent one here. You could tell there were some earnings or something happened around this. Yeah, for sure. Earnings happened. I don't know the details of it. I just literally saw it at the top of the list and I picked it. But we're going to disregard from this point forward. I'm going to see if I can draw a fib or two and get a better idea at where we are and where we're going. So you can see that it's just a funky chart, just a very funky chart. It looks like it's bipolar. But we draw this Fibonacci, and we see that right now it's sitting exactly at the 61.8 level. Now let me go back. So when I first looked at this stock, it was maybe 20 minutes ago. It was at 68%. And that's not even, I think the price might have been just above this or just below this 50 MA. It went up to $5 today. And right now it's sitting at, well, it dropped all the way down to 55.38%. So that shows you how crazy some of these press releases and earnings and whatnot can do to a stock. So we see that it had that crazy run. The FOMOers went crazy, and now it's pulled back to a more respectable 61.8. Let's see if we can do. Let's delete this sucker and see just for giggles where we are here to this top. And you would want to buy, at the very least, if you were thinking about buying in. It's not a bad level to buy it at now. I would personally look at the $2.18 range, just because it's such a in my opinion, it's very speculative. It's Chinese. There's a lot of uncertainties that's linked with China and whatnot. So let me actually take a second to read to you the press release. So this press release, I'm just going to give you the first paragraph. New York released January 30th. Datasea is a technology company engaged in providing smart security solutions and developing education-related technologies in China. Today announced that it engaged Dragon Gate Investment Partners to lead its investor relations program. I'm not sure why that would make it jump 68% or higher, but there's probably something there I'm not seeing. But that's okay. What I'm trying to see here is technically if it's at a good level to buy in at. So on the weekly, it's just below the 50 EMA. It's too young to have a 200 EMA, so that's why we don't see it on the screen here. The RSI is at near the 50. It's actually at 60. So it's getting close to the bullish zone, but it hasn't really broken this horizontal here, so it's still under the 62. It's not, it's getting strong, but it's not there yet in my point of view. The stochastic is getting a little bit stronger, but it's just not, there's still some time for it to go on the weekly. I think in this case it's for such a new stock, the daily is probably a better gauge of what's going on here. So we still have this Fibonacci on screen. Now we have the 200 EMA that's clearly visible. And it's just, the price is just above the 200 EMA. You can see that it clearly, I mean, today's low was $1.90, let me see, $1.99, sorry. And a high of $4.99. So that is just crazy. But hey, if you were able to get on this at the bottom of this horizontal and ride that all the way up to that top horizontal there, I mean, kudos. Realistically, most people would probably have that horizontal here. That seemed like a way more reasonable um, objective to have on, especially on a daily chart. That would have been beautiful. I mean, you would have your what? Let's say you bought in this last 3 days, 4 days. You had 4 days to buy in at this horizontal level, and then just take advantage of that massive run. Um, it's crazy. But congrats to you if you're one of those people. Should you buy now? I don't know. That's completely up to you. If we take this fib from this low to that high, it's at a safe zone between the 61.8 and 786. Let's take this fib off and try to draw another one that goes from here to here. So from this bottom to swing low to that swing high, you can see that we're getting close. I would wait at the very least to see what happens at the 382. If it's truly a bullish news release or press release, whatever you want to call it, you're going to see it bounce between the 382 and the 618 and just shoot up higher. It's looking like it's for sure going to be a 382 because the 200 EMA is getting really close. But being that this is such a speculative market, I've never heard of Datasea. It's not like I go through every single stock and everywhere, but I haven't heard of it. So I think it's very likely that we're going to see a pullback between the 618 and the 786. There might be a touch again at this horizontal, in which case, if you see this being if you've researched the fundamentals and you believe that this is a good stock to get into, not a bad objective there. Look for that horizontal touch, or at the very least, be safe. Wait for it to get below the 61.8. I think for me, that would be just the safer suggestion. This is not financial advice. Don't think so. Always consult a financial advisor. Just because they know what they're doing, they're going to advise you correctly based on your funds, your balance, your portfolios, where you are in life, everything. But based on a quick review of this particular asset, it's looking like it's going to pull back at the very least to the 382. And if you wanted to buy in thinking this stock in particular is going to go higher, if it were me, I'd wait somewhere between. I would wait for the 786. That would be my buy-in zone if I were interested in this, which I am not. I am not interested in this. So now that we have that, let's see if we switch this to an extension. See if it gave us, sure enough though, 1.618 was there. That would have given us a nice little objective had you done this. We could do an ABCD, which would give us a decent little, let's see here, take this to this, well, this was a couple days ago. That was obviously hit. I would wait for that pullback. I think there's not much more to say here. One word of caution. Please do not buy up here. If you hear of any press releases, any kind of earnings report, any kind of craziness that's going to drive the price to these crazy levels, just don't do it. What you normally want to see is you're going to see people most likely selling between this 618 and 786, and which is funny because it's actually sitting right between there. So if you were looking at this range, that's usually where the market would kind of short sell. So I would look for that pull back to the 618, which is approximately the 382, and yeah, just be careful out there, guys. I know that sometimes you see the top gainers and you just want to hop on board, but be smart. There's no rush. If we look at the RSI, we see that it's been in a relatively bearish zone for the last couple of days. Today's actual, let me see here. Today was here. Yeah, today's action has just made it like, skyrocket. And the RSI was, in a what they consider an oversold condition. I don't really like to guide myself by overbought, oversold. It could stay either an RSI or stochastic. It could be there for an extended amount of time. It could just signify that it's strength or weakness over a period of time. It's not exactly the only way to use this. It's actually one of the worst ways to use these indicators. It just gives you like a very easy to see, like, hey, look, maybe we should kind of analyze this a little bit better. But I would just be cautious if I were you, if you're looking at buying into this. But that's basically it. That's DTSS Datasea, a Chinese, DTSS Datasea, a Chinese company that focuses on smart security solutions and developing education-related technologies in China. So be safe out there. Don't get wrecked. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.